there, folks. Hope y'all are doing well tonight. Welcome to episode 3 of season 3 of Creation Science Theater, the commentary slash reaction show where we look at some weird creationist arguments slash presentations in tonight's case. I am Doc, your normal host, but today I am joined by.
Hello, hi,
my friend.
that's me. Hi, I'm Dryptosaurus. I also study paleontology. I'm a paleo artist. I have a few experiences in a variety of areas. Not a huge expert on dinosaurs specifically like Doc is, but I know a thing or two.
You study birds, you know some
birds are technically dinosaurs. I suppose that's true. Not according to the people who are about to listen to, though, I'm sure.
Depends on who you ask.
Oh, okay.
They also have some wacky ideas on what exactly is counted as a bird.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, in any case, I'm very excited to be here and watch this kind of content. I haven't done a ton of it, but again, I am very, very excited to participate.
Yeah, glad to hear you get excited. For everyone in the chat, I hope you're excited as well. We currently have 6 people watching along, which is a better start than normal, so I am happy about that. With that said, for those of you who are here early, I do have something fun to share. I have gotten another pin for my hat. This is a little enamel T-Rex from a little pin series I'm a big fan of called this is from Heck Creek. There's a few different series that this artist does. There's their Instagram there. Hopefully it's not reflected. If it is, their Instagram is just Dinosaur Comics. But they do these adorable little stylized pins. There's a T-Rex, Triceratops, Stegosaurus. I think they also have a mammoth one and a saber-tooth.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, but they're just these adorable little dinos. And I've been wanting to add a new pin to my hat for a while, so forgive the hat hair. You think left side or right side?
That's a good question. I like to keep my pins symmetrical if I can. How many do you have on each side of your hat? But also,
I only have 2 on each side, so we'll be going asymmetrical. I can put it more near the front, I guess. Yeah, I'll put it near the front, next to a little packy skull. I'm gonna push it through the hat.
I think I actually ran into this person in. Was it? Yeah, it was in. It was at a little event in Montana, at the museum over there, and they had a little table, and we got to talk a little bit, and I got to see their art. Nice. Yeah, they're very, very good. You just reminded me that I need to get one of those pins because they're really cool.
I got this one for $10 at the Nebraska State Museum, so they're not that expensive.
That's not bad.
Yeah. But I think that's about all the news I got, to be honest with you.
Cool.
Let's see. I think you're still in university. You excited for the end of the semester?
Actually, well, the place that I'm at has a very bizarre schedule. So we got out a few weeks ago, and I've just been in the lab full time recently, which is great. I've been doing some really cool stuff, some fun field work, and I get to skip town in a couple weeks and do some work in Germany over the summer, which is very exciting.
Hell yeah. What are you going to be working on again? I think you told me before.
I'm going to be working on some Cambrian stuff, which I have never done before. So it's always very cool to do something super new. But I have a lot of colleagues who have worked with parasites. And so I've kind of gotten a little bit of knowledge about parasite ecology and parasite evolution through osmosis, because a lot of the people where I work studied parasites of birds, and so there's a lot of talk about like parasitology in general, but I've never worked with fossil parasites before.
Do you have evidence of parasites in the Cambrian?
Well, that's what the project's about.
Oh,
So maybe.
okay, that's exciting.
Yeah. Um, there is tentative. There are some groups that today are exclusively parasitic that have their origins in the Cambrian. And
Oh,
so
okay.
it's a bit contentious whether or not the members of those groups that we find in the Cambrian are parasites. Maybe we'll figure that out. So
I mean, hopefully. I mean, we always progress with more studies, so. But glad
yeah.
to hear you get to be on what sounds like the edges, or what sounds like the cutting edge of something. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited to kind of, especially just do paleo in Europe. I've always wanted to do work abroad, which is like so exciting. I like to go new places when I can, I guess.
Fair enough. I do too. I love to travel. Speaking of traveling for today, well, first I will say we do have someone backstage. Hello, Caden. If you want to give a quick wave, pop you on.
Hello.
All right. So when people hop on, I just ask they wave on camera first. Uh, People have surprised me before on stream, and I don't like that.
I'm sorry if I've done that in the past.
No, different kind of surprise, Caden. You are a welcome guest.
Okay.
That
Hello, Doc.
was when I was doing an after show, I think, for like an Islam debate a friend did.
Oh.
People get fired up about that stuff.
Okay. Hello, Doc. And hello, Dryptosaurus.
Hello, Kaden.
Yep, that's me. I'm the guy who's emailed you in the past.
Well, it's good to hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Caden, and hello, Carl Werner, who is our creationist du jour. Caden, do you have any idea who Carl Werner is, out of curiosity?
Negative. Mainly because, well, as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we don't really discuss. I mean, we teach the flood in Sunday school, but like, we don't like go into like in depth or like say, if you do not believe this, you are not Christian sort of deal. So I have no idea who Carnal. I know there are members who do believe in a young earth, but I also know that there are who don't, and the church doesn't have an official statement on that. So I don't know who Carl Werner or whatever his last name is.
Well, his name is Carl Werner, and I'll just go ahead and share his speaker page on creation.com, which I was surprised to see on a Mini Minuteman video recently.
Really?
He did a deep dive into creation.com. Big surprise creationist website. So Dr. Werner here is an actual doctor, as in apparently a medical doctor. And it says here with a distinction in biology. I don't speak medical field, so I don't know what that refers to. But he is not a biologist. He is not a paleontologist, and he is not a geologist.
So the way that I'm reading this is,
doctor.
Yeah, the way that I'm reading this is he graduated with distinction, maybe with a biology major for his undergrad. Like he graduated, he was a bio major as an undergrad, and then he graduated with distinction. I don't know. That's it. I'm not exactly sure what that's saying either, but
just interesting. And here he is, his tiny little picture up here. He's apparently done a few creationist documentaries and books, and he loves doing interviews and public presentations, such as this one. Let's see. How to Rule an Asteroid is asking where it was filmed. I don't know where it was filmed, but it is on the Genesis Apologetics website.
Maybe if you went to their website, it might tell you where it's filmed.
Uh, that's true. I can look really quick. But Genesis Apologetics is I think, a lesser known creationist organization these days.
I know
Uh,
Doc Dapper Dino covered one of their videos once. One of their, I think, 50 points or something.
a few, a bunch of debunkers on YouTube have covered their content before. I think they used to be more prolific, and they are prolific in the home video scene of creationism,
Mm.
but they don't get as many like public events as say Answers in Genesis. At least I don't think.
Okay. I'm
They're
again,
they're interesting.
I'm don't know. This is just something in general I've seen with not creationists, but young Earth ones, is that they have a tendency to like bring in people who aren't experts in the who are experts in different fields to talk about.
Oh,
We lost your audio, Kate. There. But at any rate, we are about 12 minutes in. Introductions have been made, so might as well get started. Last episode, we turned a 10-minute video into 2.5 hours, so let's not make this 5 hours. Let us begin.
Very much. Dr. Werner, take us away.
Thank you.
Well, let's be polite.
This is another AI alert that this information has not reached AI yet. So pay attention and you can put it into AI.
That might be the weirdest introduction to a talk I've ever heard.
I don't think that, yeah, I don't have anything to say about that. That's just the most bizarre way to open your time on a stage that I've ever heard.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, creationists seem to absolutely adore things like ChatGPT. I don't get it, but they do. I mean, we both know they love AI generated images. We've talked about those
Yeah.
before.
Oh,
But
jeez.
weird. Creationists are weird.
Dan asked me to do a talk called Fossils Prove the Flood. I said, thank you, Dan. Now I have to put together a new talk. But I'm good with it. And let's see if I can get this to go here. So if you go around the world, you will notice that everywhere you go, there's flat, pancake-like layers, one on top of another on top of another. You've seen them at the Grand Canyon, and this is Cleveland Lloyd Quarry. Now, sometimes there's set.
I mean, except for the places where they are slanted or vertical or squished.
This is actually what I'm working on right now. Before I head to Germany, I'm working with a couple other folks on a paper looking at basically this sedimentary bed that got twisted all up on itself, and we're modeling it because it's never been properly mapped before. It's just like a fun short project, but absolutely not. They're not always pancake-like. They're often in a pretty terrible shape.
And even within themselves, like you find erosion places where they've redeposited, like all kinds of stuff. Like he said, this is at Cleveland Lloyd, so we're probably looking at Morrison here. The Morrison's composed of like 8 different members, most of which are very discontinuous. They're just lumped into the Morrison. In fact, I have heard several times that the Morrison may be getting split up into different formations and being turned into a group. It's just no one wants to draw the line on where the different ones start and end.
Yeah, that's splitting is often a difficult task to do in a justifiable way, I think, especially in like the current scientific climate where you're expected to give very, very good reasons for breaking tradition, because there's so much stuff that's already well established.
Yeah, and like you can't change a lot of the like old literature. Like you can't really edit a book from the 1800s, which the Morrison has been studied since then. So
Yeah.
it could set a lot of our different historical records kind of into whack. Also, Caden is back. Hello, hello, mic test.
Sorry about that. My mic stopped working for a bit.
That's all right. It happens.
You're all right. Welcome back.
Speaking of the Morrison Formation, I live in Utah, by the way.
Oh,
So we have those rocks here. Though technically
Cool.
where I live, southern Utah, is a bit closer to like the Mojave and Kayenta formations.
mm.
In fact, we have
Triassic?
early Jurassic, late Triassic. So like we have in St. George, we have a fossil trackway there from that time frame.
Cool. Yeah, I have a few family members who live on Kayenta Formation, like rock area, which is very cool. I've always wanted to go down there and check it out. It's one of my favorite sites.
I can't say I've ever seen that formation, but when I was in Wyoming, there was a late or early Jurassic layer that I was familiar with called the Sundance, and the formation beneath that was it was split into two parts. The upper part was the Gypsum Springs, and the lower part was the Chugwater. And you saw a gradation through those three rock layers of one of the interior seaways starting to form. So it went from fully terrestrial in the Chugwater to coastline in the Gypsum Springs to transitional and then fully marine in the Sundance. It was really cool.
That's really awesome.
So,
and I'd actually found dinosaur tracks in the Gypsum Springs before.
That's very cool.
I lost track of where they were, but they were these three-toed tracks about the size of my hand.
So I believe that was the Sundance that was forming.
Yeah. Would have been the Sundance Sea circa 160 to 180 million years ago. It was around for a while.
Cool.
Yeah. I kind of miss going out there sometimes. The funny thing about the Gypsum Springs was it was originally clay, and it turned into this interesting mudstone called porcelainite, just natural porcelain.
That's really cool.
Yeah, you throw a piece and it would break apart like a vase. It's interesting.
Like landslides, you can't see them all, but if you look carefully, it's flat layer on top of flat layer on top of flat layer, and this goes around the world, and it's about a mile.
So typically these flat sedimentary rock layers are a mile deep. It's very rare for an individual formation to get that deep. Like, very rare. Actually, I don't think I know of any that are an entire mile on their own. Do you know any?
I don't know if I would of any single formations that are like that. He might be referring to like the fact that you can go down for a mile and still see sedimentary rock, but it's not all going to be part of the same formation, not part of the same like depositional environment. Certainly you do get formations that stack on top of each other in certain areas, like in Bighorn Basin in Montana, there's some Cretaceous stuff from a different formation. I forget the specific name, but it overlaps a lot of Morrison material. And it's a very tall rock face.
Hey, that's the area I was in, except I was in the Wyoming portion.
Cool.
In that area, it's Morrison overlain. It's Morrison overlain by Cloverleaf, and then it's so there's a gap in time of about 30-ish million, No. I think about 10 to 15 million years between the uppermost Morrison and lowermost Cloverleaf, but they're sandwiched together. There's like an erosive layer there.
Mm.
And then from there, it's an almost continuous sequence of rock all the way to the top, like without skipping a beat. It's, well, at least it appears to be continuous.
That's really cool.
Yeah, a lot of the marine sediments there, which there are a ton of, are just filled with bentonite. So you can do absolute dating, and it's just continuous. It's beautiful.
That's so cool.
Bentonite?
Bentonite is a clay mineral. You actually find it in a lot of products that humans use because you can refine it to make it food safe. It's very good as a thickening agent and absorbative. Like you can use it for cat litter. It'll soak up to, I think, 10 times its own volume in water. So
Oh, now I
maybe
remember.
bentonite's a little less, but it's very absorbent. Sucks to walk through, though.
I
That
heard the
makes sense.
term bentonite used in an episode of Forensic Files.
Oh, cool.
I'd be
Talking
surprised
about
if it got
some-
brought up.
It was an episode about a guy who got murdered while on a hunting trip.
Mm.
Were they
Geology.
looking for footprints in bentonite? Because footprints in bentonite last forever.
Yes.
That's cool.
Or more accurately, the guy who was killed's wife had bentonite clay on her boots,
Mm.
Okay. So
and she was the one who killed him.
makes sense.
Geology is really important for forensics, which I think is like so cool.
Oh yeah.
People sometimes get like, I get a question a lot of like, what's the practical application of the stuff that you do of these like fields of like paleo and geo? But that's one of them. Is without a lot of people studying geology and the places that rocks form, we would not be able to solve murder cases anywhere nearly as efficiently.
Not just murder cases. It can help solve missing persons cases. Because
true.
fun fact for the people out there: when you eat and drink things, the stable isotopes in your food go into your body. And in the case of groundwater usually carries a bunch of signature isotopes that are hyper specific for one region. So if you have all of your teeth still, like all of your adult teeth, we can do isotope measurements on each tooth to figure out where you were when those teeth were being developed. And we can do the same thing with your hair for as long as your hair is. We can track the isotopic signatures of everywhere you've traveled to a pretty good location too. Like
That's
it's
so
fairly
sick.
accurate.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So like if somehow I died in California and they had no idea who I was, they could run isotope signatures on my teeth and in my hair to figure out I was living in Iowa.
That's awesome. Wow. That's really cool.
Yeah, if you can, take a stable isotopes class in college. It's really neat.
Yeah.
Mile deep. Some places it's less than a mile, and some places it's more than a mile deep. And you can see
And for the record, most rock formations are measured in the tens to hundreds of meters in thickness, though
Not
tens of meters thick are
thousands.
more common. Yeah. Maybe some deep marine sediments can get that bit deep, but I don't know of any off the top of my head.
see these flat layers at Petrified Forests in Arizona and Dinosaur Provincial Park. And by the way,
Al Trucker, who was in the chat earlier, just went to Dinosaur Provincial Park with his son to go fossil hunting.
Cool. I love Petrified Forest. I've always wanted to go there.
I thought it was really amazing.
Phytosaurs number one. They're so abundant that it's like one of the only places where we can use vertebrate teeth for chronology. It's based on the
Really?
back teeth of certain phytosaur species in a lot of places. Yeah, because there's so much succession of different groups of phytosaurs.
So the phytosaur teeth are like index fossils?
Yeah, in petrified forest specifically, because there's so many of them, and the phytosaurs there are so diverse.
Interesting. I mean, I know we can do that with microfossils from live rock layers, but it's not often you see vertebrates doing that unless it's something like Lystrosaurus.
Yeah,
Or like conodonts?
yeah.
True, conodonts too. But conodonts are tiny.
They're little.
This is a key that all of us miss unless somebody points this out to you. The flat layers are the key. Badlands, South Dakota, the flat layers.
Oh, I love Badlands.
I love Badlands.
Badlands. Beautiful.
I think
Wh-
Badlands is also a type of biome or rock formation.
It's
I believe it's grassland or subtropical forest, but I could be wrong.
yeah. Badlands is awesome. If you ever go to Badlands and you find a fossil and you take good pictures of it and bring those pictures with location to the front desk, they will give you a patch that says "I did the right thing" with a picture of a Hoplophoneus skull on it. Because it did the right
awesome.
thing by not taking. Yeah, it's a saber-toothed nimrabbit, so it's not a cat, but it's a
like
relative of cats.
Feliform.
Yeah, and they're smaller than saber-toothed cats, but there was a young girl who found one, and it became like the mascot of that program of like citizen science fossil finding in Badlands, because there are so many fossils there that it's really, really hard, and they erode so quickly that it's really hard for the park rangers to find them all. So they actually rely on people going through the park while they're hiking and spotting them and reporting them to find a lot of their really, really cool stuff, because it's just so many more people.
Ah.
When I went there in university, I went to Iowa State. We have a geology camp you have to attend to get your degree, and we passed through Badlands on our way there.
That's cool.
So my whole group was just wandering around in the Badlands looking for fossils, and by the time we were done, I found a literal armful of bones. They're just everywhere.
Everywhere. There's so many of them.
All of them Oreodonts.
Oh my god.
Oreodonts.
Yep.
Oreodonts. Yeah.
My Oreodont skull is at work, but I'm working on prepping an Oreodont skull right now.
Was someone eating Oreos while naming them?
That's funny. There's a lot of
I think it means mountain.
Yeah.
Like mountain tube.
Yeah, like
well, it's just like when I hear Oreo, I think of the cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone
there's the snack apes of Oreopithecus and Nachopithecus. That's one thing that I've heard.
Are they like some sort of like ungulate?
I
some sort of ungulate.
Yeah, I forget exactly where they sit.
Yeah. But yeah, they got a different name recently, but everyone calls them Oreodonts. They're Moricoidodontoids.
Yeah. The type species is Oreodon, which is now Mericoidodon, but they're artiodactyls. So
yes, they are artiodactyls.
I should include some of these in Gene Diver.
You should. Oreodonts are awesome. They're very, very underrated animals.
They're very weird. But I mean, a lot of like early post-Cretaceous mammals are weird because they're rat things that stopped being rats.
A lot of post-Cretaceous, everything is weird.
I mean, I guess that just holds true for everything post a mass extinction, doesn't it?
Like every living creature during the Triassic.
Yeah. I think what's so cool about like immediately post-Cretaceous is because that's like the most recent huge mass extinction. It's like everything that we see is a weird version of a group that is usually still quite well represented today, with like a few exceptions of like Sebekids and some of the other freaky mammal groups. But like,
Hyenodonts.
Yeah. Like they're almost something that's around today.
When did the
We
last
are-
ones go extinct? Like 5 million years ago?
Maybe. I actually don't know when.
Sorry, someone hit my door.
No, you're good. Um,
Here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit play, and we'll
all right.
see what he says next while you're looking something up.
And here at Joggins Cliffs, here the flat layers were pulled up.
Yeah. Joggins Cliffs, Nova Scotia. Very interesting place. Do you know why creationists like this area?
No.
Because they have upright tree fossils going through multiple layers.
Okay.
They call them polystrate fossils.
I remember. I looked into this a while
Even
ago.
though that's not the correct term.
Yeah, that's only a term you see in because like I don't know, that's a term you only really see in creationist literature. I don't think I've ever heard it outside of that.
No. We just call them upright fossils because geologists are weird, but they're not that weird.
Oh, and also Hyaenodontidae, or not Hyaenodontidae, Hyaenodonta, the order, died out 10 million years ago, from what I saw.
Just before our first hominins. Interesting. Well,
I think
possible.
the last hyaenodonts died during the Miocene.
Yes, during the end of the Miocene.
Like the Pliocene began, what, 4 million years ago?
Yeah, I think about 5 million years ago.
Yeah, about 5.3 million years ago.
Miocene might be my favorite geologic era or epoch. Neogene.
I don't think I can pick a favorite, sadly.
Yeah. Well, good thing there's only one with Baru Darwai.
My favorite,
What?
well, I guess I could say the Mesozoic is my favorite geological era.
Yeah, it's a good one.
They're all good ones. Well, mostly good ones. Ordovician's kind of boring.
You
by,
take that back.
Tectonics, but they were flat at one point. How did these sedimentary flat layer rocks get here all over the world? There's two stories, theories, ideas, hypothesis, whatever you want to call it. One is that the sedimentary rock layer.
Well, actually, if you are counting the Bible, then there are thousands, because we have thousands of creation myths. You are just very beholden to yours.
It's
were laid down.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's more like there's only one actual theory, and that's the one based on actual evidence. It's just they can't accept natural processes because in their mind everything has to be unexplainable, unknowable. If it's unknowable, how can you then understand it? You can't understand that which you don't know.
Yeah.
Except we have a process to learn that stuff. It's called science.
Yeah.
In Noah's flood. And here's how it goes. The waters rose during Noah's flood. The waters eventually got so high in the oceans it covered the continents. As this was going on, there was great plate tectonic activity, and there was earthquakes because of that. The earthquakes caused tsunamis from different locations, and these tsunamis raced across the continent and brought sediment. As they ran out of steam, the sediment, the waves stopped, and then the sediment went down to the bottom and made a flat layer. Then there's another tsunami from a different direction, bringing different colored sediment, brings it over, and now that sediment settles, and there's another flat layer.
And then the Earth turned into a
Interesting.
boiling ball of plasma.
Yeah, do you think Dr. Werner has any idea what a tsunami deposit looks like?
Probably not.
No.
Because we have those. We have those. You don't often find things like rhizoliths, root fossils preserved in them. You don't often
Is
find
the
mud cracks
I
or
think the
sand dunes
I
or
think the Tanis
footprints.
site in North Dakota preserves tsunami.
Oh,
Uh,
maybe.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, maybe. I haven't read a lot of stuff out of the Tannis site, but I would imagine that's probably a pretty good candidate to produce like overland tsunamis. Although it is fairly far
I
north.
mean, they also think it's like a record of like the day the asteroid hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have pretty good records of tsunami deposits for most coastal ecosystems, circa 66 something million years ago.
Yeah.
Like most of them. Um, and like to be clear, we just don't see that in most other rock layers, like at all. Um, we can't. We know what those look like. We don't have them. We have a lot of other different types of rock sequences and like markers that indicate different environments that don't go away just because they're inconvenient to the flood.
Yeah. Like a big wave sweeping over the land would churn up a lot of oxygen into the water, and that would prevent you from forming, the kinds of stuff that we only see in anoxic deposits, like in the Yishan
Yeah.
and other areas like that, where
Or
you
like
need stagnant
Yes.
water to
limestone
flood.
deposits, which require slow moving water or just stagnant water altogether to form.
Yeah.
So just no. Sorry, Werner, no.
It's the Noah flood.
Also, just a heads up, Drip. I think you're moving something across your desk sometimes. Your mic picks up. It's okay.
All right.
Yeah, just giving you a heads up.
Model of how the flat layers got here. Now, evolution scientists would strongly disagree, and they would say, no, like here at the Grand Canyon, these were formed by rivers flooding their banks, lakes in the deposits of sediments at the bottom of a lake, ponds, sometimes it was deserts and the desert sands were moving around, and sometimes the sea would rise. It would be a periodic, not worldwide flood, but just the oceans would come in a little bit.
So that is a semi-good overview of most of the paleo environments in the Grand Canyon. There's some terrestrial deposits, there's some desert deposits, there's some
There's
marine
marine
deposits.
deposits.
Yeah, and they all have a they all have a lot of evidence for those things preserved in the rock and in the fossils.
I'm surprised creationists haven't tried to explain how you get desert deposits during a worldwide flood.
Oh, they do. They just say they're not desert deposits. Or the flood that covered the whole world for 100 days didn't cover the entire world in 100 days. Some parts of it were exposed, and those experienced deserts. Kent
I-
Hovind says that.
I mean,
Oh,
he's the guy who also thinks that the Grand Canyon is a washed out dam.
Yeah,
Ken
And
Hovind says a lot of things.
he's
Hovind
the
says a
guy
lot
who
of
says
things.
autistic people like me shouldn't exist.
Yeah, he's a tool.
Oh, recently he's been advocating for the extermination of Arab people. I wish I was joking.
Jesus.
I am so confused. Maybe I
He
probably
basically
shouldn't
says
know.
that he basically says that, well, said that whichever one of Noah's sons, because they all think the different Noah's sons were different races.
Oh,
He says that the son that gave rise to the Arab peoples shouldn't have done that.
You can't just blame a single person for an entire group.
Caden,
You
the
can-
problem is that he's saying that Arab people shouldn't exist. Is what he's saying.
That's
It's like
He's being very racist.
I don't tend to judge people based on their certain. I don't tend to judge people based on race or gender, but I do. I will admit I sometimes have trouble with judging people too harshly, but I judge people by what their actions are.
a good
I
thing
mean,
to do.
It's always good to judge people for their actions and not for their inbuilt characteristics. That's a good thing. It's just Kent is an interesting man.
I am so glad never met him.
Me too.
I have debated him twice, and both times were interesting.
Oh wait,
I'm
I
sorry.
have pseudo met him on a live stream by Standing for Truth, where I asked him why he continues to not acknowledge that birds are dinosaurs.
He has publicly admitted that he doesn't know what a dinosaur is.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
On my YouTube channel, I made a funny skit of a cheeky raccoon from a certain German company meeting Kent Hovind.
Interesting.
that's funny.
Way across the continent. So now I want you to play scientist, and I want you to shout out the answer in a second here. If there was a worldwide flood, like Noah's flood, how many of these 18 rock layers that have been named should have saltwater creatures? Now, let me show you the.
I don't know, Drip. I'm just gonna full screen this.
Is that just the
how many-
geologic column?
How many of these 18 rock layers should have marine fossils?
So,
You know, these rock layers here.
How
um, um,
Oh no, the paleo student loses his mind.
I
I posted the link to the sketch in the in studio chat.
oh, cool. I'll check that out
We
later.
might watch it later, Caden. But
Well,
yeah,
I mean, how many of the geologic eras did saltwater creatures exist in? All of them.
All of them, but only in the environments that were confirmed to be marine.
Yeah.
It's like for their version of a global flood, you would have to have sea creatures mixed with land creatures in every single layer of the geologic column.
so
These three slides first.
Caden,
I want to explain this.
oh, sorry, I didn't mean to play it. Caden, that's what he's saying. He's saying there are sea and land creatures mixed in with all of these layers of the geologic column. You know, the one Cambrian layer, the one Oligocene layer, is what he's saying.
Oh
So-
goodness, this man's really cuckoo. What is he smoking?
I was just gonna say I can't tell if he simply does not understand what this graph represents, or if he's intentionally picked. I don't know what he could be saying here. Is he implying that this is the sequence of rocks in the Grand Canyon?
He is saying that these are the only rock layers that exist. There's a Cretaceous layer, a Jurassic
okay.
layer, a Triassic layer.
Oh my goodness, and he's ignoring all of the Precambrian.
Oh, that's also true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
And including
It's a
the
choice.
time when the Earth turned into a snowball.
It's also true.
like I'll be honest, I've seen a lot of kooky creationist crap. I've never seen anything like this. just lumping them all together from a single time. Like, this is like saying, for vacation this year, I want to go to August.
Yeah,
Where?
yeah, that's a great.
I
That's a
want
great
to
way
go
of
to
putting it.
August.
Bit of an odd question, but has anyone here seen Project Hail Mary recently?
I have not. I'm trying to avoid spoilers.
Yes,
I'm
same
Oh.
here.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching it soon.
Well, I just went and saw it yesterday. I won't spoil anything, but it's a good movie. You
All
should
right,
go
I'm glad
see
to
it.
hear it. Yeah, hopefully I'll
Good.
see it soon.
But yeah, it's just interesting statement here, Carl. Let's see how you substantiate this.
Carl, that kills people.
Carl, that kills the Cambrian.
So on the continents, there was the duck, the snake, the dinosaur, land animals, and as the water rose from the oceans, it brought in saltwater creatures like sharks and starfish, etc. And they all got mixed up in the water and settled to the ground. That's the Noah flood model. If that is true, and if Noah's flood is true, I want to ask the audience, you can shout out your answer, how many of these 18 named rock layers should have saltwater creatures in them as fossils? All. That's
The Price is Right failure trombone plays.
Yeah. And, like, here's the thing. What he's saying here is maybe convincing to someone who who never paid attention to science class before, or history, or anything. Like, I'm trying to think of good analogies for this, but it's so stupid I'm having trouble.
Well, I mean, basically what he's saying is, and it doesn't even make sense internally, because if what he's saying is true and all these layers were deposited at the same time, you would expect to find all the animals on the bottom and just nothing in anything past the very bottom layers, because he said all these animals mixed together and settled at the bottom. You would expect to find blended animals of all ecologies in a pocket of layers towards the bottom, and then after everything died, you would expect to get several layers of sedimentation that are just completely devoid of life.
This
Yep.
Carl
Well-
guy is making Patrick Star from SpongeBob look intelligent.
The thing is, I think he thinks that his many tsunamis save him. I think he thinks that. It doesn't. It doesn't work. But
Okay.
he thinks it does. So I guess he thinks like each one of these time zones is a separate tsunami or something.
Okay. But what is there for the tsunami to bury after the first tsunami? Or are they all coming in different directions? I'll let him speak.
They're
Clearly
all
what's
coming
going
from different
on
directions, carrying different fossils. And that's why all of our late Cretaceous rock deposits all look the exact same. Everywhere.
Even though that's not the case.
Yes, Katie, that was the implication.
What's next? This guy's gonna say fairies are real.
Maybe.
I think pretty soon he's going to be talking about nautiloids, actually.
Not a
pretty
void.
quick answer. Okay. Well, I'm going to help you because I'm going to do the work for you. So the group consensus is all. Your prediction is all. What is the reality? Here we go. In the bottommost layer is this saltwater creature called a sea pen. They're alive today off the coast of Washington State.
I don't believe those are. That Akron thing. I know what that is.
They are Cnidarians. Okay, the super family that they're in is apparently extant. But
That specific fossil. I know what that is. Why can't... Is it Carnia?
I think it was Carnia. Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
mean Charnia?
Oh, yeah, that. Oh, yeah, that was the Wikipedia image for Carnia. I'll go back. Well, okay, maybe not. Actually, I think yeah, it's the same fossil, just a different picture. Um, so this is Arboreta arborea, or sorry, Arborea arborea, which is a Petalinamid.
Big.
All we can say is that they are animals. They don't fit into any living group because they are completely extinct as far as we know.
I mean, you go back, they are living in during the Ediacaran, which
Yeah,
is
there's not
like
gonna be.
before any of the modern animal groups showed up. Except maybe jellyfish.
And sponges.
And
Oh, yeah,
sponges.
and sponges.
And there's some arguments that's. I think we might have some protochordates, but I could be wrong. And also what
Maybe
what
some
might
think
be ancestral
Sprigina.
arthropods. But Sprigina, I think, might be an ancestral arthropod.
If not an ancestral
but it could be
arthropod,
wrong.
at least within Panarthropoda.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
just like yeah, this is a bad thing to pick. This is not a sea pen. This is not an animal as we know it. Also,
Good start to just completely lie to your audience about what something is.
Close encounters of the Ediacaran kind.
But also, like, I really do have to ask, why does Ediacaran stuff all get badass names? Like Arborea,
Dickinsonia,
Sprigina.
There's some really good names. I think that my favorite names are a lot of the what are they called? The like a lot of Australian Holocene and Pleistocene reptiles have really good names. Megalania.
Yeah.
Well, now it's defunct. Varanus priscus is not as
priscus.
cool. Yeah.
No, Megalania is the common name.
Yeah.
Basically,
Calthophrons, which means spearhead, and it's a crocodilian with a super triangular skull.
Ooh.
That's a great.
I mean, there's also things like Crocodilus.
It's also good.
Wait, is it Crocodilus?
There's Crocodilus sucus. Crocodilus sucus is the new name. They actually split it out from Crocodilus niloticus. There's Cayman crocodilus.
Crocodilus.
Yeah.
But it's spelled differently from Crocodilus the genus.
Yeah. There's there are between 20 and 30 species of crocodilians alive today, and every person you ask will give you a different answer as to what those are.
Doesn't help that a lot of them can interbreed.
Mm-hmm.
With gay abandon.
Oh my.
Speaking of Ediacaran, basically the explosion of life during the that period is known as the Avalon explosion.
That's a really good name.
I've never heard that term before. Avalon explosion? Oh, that's cool. What does Avalon mean?
I think it's named for like.
It's named from the Avalon Peninsula in Canada.
Oh, come on, that's so lame.
Oh, well, it's a cool name. It's from Newfoundland.
Likewise,
the setting of my favorite musical ever, Come From Away.
The name Ediacaran comes from the Ediacaran Cliffs in either Canada or the UK. It's somewhere.
Okay, granted, this is from Wikipedia, but apparently Avalon was also the name of an island in Arthurian legend. So that might be like the origin of it. The only place I've heard that name or that word before is from JoJo. One of the main villains' themes is called Avalon.
JoJo's
fun.
Bizarre Adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The villain Cars, his theme is Avalon.
His
It's a
name is Cars.
Yep.
with a
And he's
K.
got yeah, along with AC/DC and Wham.
And Wham.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Oh.
JoJo. It's always like that.
I guess this video could be who's the guy on screen again?
Carl Werner.
Carl Werner.
Carl's Bizarre
Werner's Bizarre
Adventure.
Adventure.
Carl's bizarre presentation.
Yeah. Speaking of,
CPAN,
Yeah.
they're alive today off the coast of Washington State. Here,
again, no,
No.
they're not.
No, there.
Not off of any Washington State either. Creationists seem to have a problem with pronouncing R's. I've noticed. Kent does that too.
They also have a
Well,
tendency
inserting
to
R's.
say something from present day is actually just something that existed in the past. Like creationists will say
Hey,
that,
psychic.
oh, the Hoatzins just Archaeopteryx.
Yeah, that's a thing I've heard before. Well, basically heard before. But let's see what this is. This looks like a Bronzilla.
in the next layer up in the Cambrian, there's these sponges, and sponges are saltwater creatures. And then the next layer up, the Ordovician has these sea lilies. They're saltwater creatures. And the next layer up after that is this hard coral. That's
Coral.
No. I'm not sure how far back crinoids go back. I think corals go back to the Cambrian, or at the very least, the earliest Ordovician.
Corals
I
are
know
a type
because
of
I found
Niagarian
them. I
reef.
grew up surrounded by Ordovician rock, and I found so many corals. The weird thing with coral is they seemingly go completely extinct, I think, at the end of the Permian, and then they randomly appear again, but they're completely different. Like superficially, they're very similar, but they're a completely different group of coral that we never found anywhere before in the fossil record.
So
I
it's like,
wonder.
are modern
Which is
corals
bizarre.
like that group that just reappeared?
Yes.
I wonder if that is due to our fossil record being biased towards generally shallower water environments, and maybe there's a mass extinction that hit those shallow water groups harder, and then those niches were recolonized by deep water groups. That's what my an intuitive idea is about it. How that could,
you
how
mean
that sort of
like
thing could happen.
You mean like a mass extinction that would release massive amounts of acid into the water, which would eat away at organisms that build their skeletons with calcium carbonate? That's a
Yes.
weird idea. It's a very
Well,
evolutionisty idea.
it's true.
The
But also, I like how he's only picking out one fossil from each of these eras, because if he had to go through everything, everyone would immediately know that we have no Anomalocaris, we have no Pikaia. There's so much stuff that is not found throughout all these layers.
Speaking of Pikaia, there is an anime called Pikaia where basically a bunch of kids use mech suits to travel back to the Cambrian in order to collect magical code to revitalize the dead Earth.
That's metal. That's awesome.
That sounds really cool. That sounds like an anime version of Prehistoric Park, except more apocalyptic.
They should make a Nigel Marvin anime.
They should do that.
They really should.
We
He's
should
already an
need more
anime
Nigel
character.
It's
We
true.
need more Nigel Marvin.
a saltwater creature. And the next layer, that was Silurian. The next layer, Devonian, starfish, coral, shark.
We have sharks going back to the Devonian, thank you.
We have sharks, quote unquote sharks.
Sharks are older than trees.
Yeah, well, things that look like sharks are somewhat older than trees. Hybodonts are kind of sharks. They're an outgroup to modern Selachii, which only actually show up in the Jurassic. So
then
no,
there's
we technically
the
don't have sharks from the Devonian.
then there's the basically all of the ratfish relatives that look like sharks that aren't sharks.
Yeah, I mean we have a ton of stuff that is like almost a shark that goes back really far, but much like with Crocodilus, the genus, which only showed up around 10 million years ago. That's the first time we see stuff called that's actually Crocodilus, like your true crocodiles.
We have things that look like crocodiles that aren't crocodiles.
Yeah, and that's how it is with sharks. I mean, they're super old cartilaginous fish that look like sharks, but the true coelacanths only actually appear in the Jurassic. Maybe they go back to like some older strata in like the Permian and stuff. That being
I
said,
just checked the shark he's showing here. It's a simoriform, so it's not a shark.
Yeah. He couldn't even pick the closest thing to a shark that's not a shark. I thought it was a hybodont.
I think hybodonts appeared during the Permian.
Where is Hybotus
I
from?
don't know. Here, let's see.
Hybotus from the early Jurassic.
Hybodontiformes shows up in the Carboniferous, or no, Devonian, very late Devonian. But there's actually some new stuff that's coming out, particularly by a researcher at Yale named Chase Brownstein, and he's doing a bunch of I think combined morphology and genetic stuff, suggesting that maybe sharks are paraphyletic, and the group that we call sharks should actually include rays, which is interesting and kind of exciting.
I mean, there are sharks that look like rays.
There are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that look like rays that aren't technically rays. But the true rays for a long time we've thought of them as like being not like split from sharks completely, but they might be tangled in there more than we thought.
I mean, honestly, I just think fish in general are just a confusing mess. Things don't make sense until they come out on land.
If for fish,
yes,
to
I
be
used air quotes.
monophyletic, you have to
I
include
used
all
air
of
quotes.
Tetrapod.
Fish.
Yeah.
I used fish.
And that's assuming everything that isn't a bony fish is also a fish. If they're fish, then so are tetrapods.
I know. I was using fish in air quotes. The
Fish
vertebrates
is a
don't make
vibes-based
sense until they
definition.
emerge on land. Oh, wait, did I should probably bring it back before I play again.
That was Silurian. The next layer, Devonian, starfish, coral, shark, saltwater shellfish, saltwater snail, saltwater ray. You get the picture. There are.
Yeah, he just keeps doing this.
Hold on, what was that ray that he showed?
Water snail, salt.
Yeah, that thing.
Devil-nosed ray.
Yeah, but what is the fossil?
No idea. He doesn't say what some of these are, and gee, I wonder why.
Water ray. You get the picture. There are saltwater creatures in every layer. Check that out in AI. Because if that's true, why didn't you?
It's almost
why
in the ocean for millions of years.
Well, I think we know where Carl Werner does all his research these days.
Yeah, he does it at Kent Hovind's Institute for the Mentally Insane.
Kent
I think he just
GPT.
asked ChatGPT.
Kent GPT.
Someone did one of those AI conversation bots based on Kent, I'm pretty sure. It wouldn't be that hard to do.
Yeah, he has 4 dialogue lines.
He's like a Fallout NPC.
Never played Fallout.
It's good.
It's good. Also, hello, Sydney Raptor. Hope you are doing well. Sydney is
Hello.
our Australian geologist.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I-
We were talking about the geologic column and how all of these fossil animals are totally, they're totally the same as their modern counterparts. Specific examples include corals from the Ordovician being totally the same as modern corals.
And the Cobelotus.
Oh yeah.
The shark.
You ever hear that? And doesn't that just like, okay, this is a no-brainer. Every layer has saltwater creatures. Wow. Crab, etc. Now, there's a big problem with what I just showed you, and you haven't realized it yet, but it's where these fossils came from. Did they come from the ocean because they're saltwater creatures? No, they were found on the continents. I just showed you these 20 fossils, and now I'm going to show you where
Wait,
they were
pause that.
found and their height.
Yep.
You can look and see that these are all there's conspicuous they're of course they're not in the ocean, but they are relatively coastal in a lot of their distribution, especially when you take into account that a lot of these continents had inland seas covering where these
It's
deposits would
almost
have been.
as if when those rocks formed, when those things died, they weren't on continents. They were underwater. It's almost
Yeah.
as if Earth has changed quite a bit. And not within a
Well,
single year.
Now, see, the problem is the only plate tectonics that actually exist are catastrophic plate tectonics. So we can't take any of our silly old Earth assumptions.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
I wish I was kidding. I wish I was kidding. Because in addition to all those tsunamis, the continents were zooming around and moved to their current positions within a year from Pangea.
Or from Rodinia to Pangea to now. Some of
No,
them
they only go
include
back
some
to
of the older
Pangea.
supercontinents.
They can't deal with Rodinia. They can't.
Where they're at. For example, this one coral at the top, it was found near Illinois, but the level there is 600 feet above the ocean.
Well, I wish I could see that, Carl.
All I see is a line pointing to a place on a map.
But I think he's talking about right here. But funny thing about that is, he says near Illinois. I wonder if he found it in Iowa, because that's the area I grew up in. And fun fact about all of the rock layers in Iowa, they're tilted upwards toward the east. Going to the east, they progressively get older because they're all tilted towards the west. And why would those rocks be tilted? Why aren't those rocks flat, Carl? Well, if we go a few hundred miles to the west, we meet the Rocky Mountains, which have been shunted up. And how have they been shunted up? Because North America slid over the Pacific Plate. But it wasn't a clean movement. It didn't just slide under North America. No, the ocean floor does not want to dive into the mantle there. It burrowed under North America and lifted it up, lifting the center of the continent, tilting all of the rock layers on North America, turning some into mountains, but also lifting the rest high enough that there was no more ocean, where there had been for a very long time. And we can see these steps cleanly outlined in the rocks. Because geologists are not fish, they can think of more than two things at a time.
Well, technically,
One thing at a
It's
time.
actually the Farallon plate that caused the Rocky Mountains.
Simplifying, Caden.
Yeah.
Moving over the Pacific. And yes, Sydney, he has mentioned that clams and fish have been found on top of, well, mountains, not specifically Everest yet, but yes. Carl does not subscribe to uplift, even though those layers are tilted and mashed.
And that would maybe in the Silurian level. And at this other one was found down in Flinders Range in Australia, and that one's hundreds of feet above the sea level. And each of these 18 animals were found in each of the 18 layers, and each of these layers is hundreds of feet above the sea level today. That
Yes, these singular layers. They sure
All-
are, Carl.
All 18 fossil formations. Imagine how much easier our jobs would be if that was all there was.
Right?
Imagine if fossil formations stretched hundreds of miles
God.
and covered entire geologic eras.
That would be really nice. There's only
Let
one
me see if-
Jurassic layer.
Here, I know Wyoming very well, so I'm going to try to pull up a geologic map of Wyoming. Specifically the area I was studying. Let me see if I can make this work. Nope. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a good geologic map. No, I'm not gonna buy it. Go away. Okay, so here's a geologic map of Wyoming. This is where I spent about 2 years hunting for fossils. If we zoom in over here, and move. Okay, move a little faster. This is the area I was staying in. So you have doesn't really show it very well. Basically, this blue area here and this green area, those are all Cretaceous rock sediments, or like rock layers, more or less. But in that is about 7, I believe, individual formations, each incredibly distinct from the others. And this area is only like 15-ish miles, like 10, 15 miles. And that's just Cretaceous. Like, that's mid to late Cretaceous, too. That's not even counting early stuff. Like, it's... You can't
Or
say
like
they're all
the,
one layer, Carl.
Or like the unconformity between that is formed where like you were in the Cloverleaf formation, I think, at the time, correct?
I was looking at a bunch of different ones, but Cloverly was my main focus.
Well, it's like I think somewhere on the map there was like an area where like there was like an unconformity where like the Cloverleaf formation was right on top of like the Morrison formation.
Oh, there's a lot of those. The Cloverly unconformly covers the Morrison and that entire area. Unconformly... Sorry, that's not the right word. Fairly... It always covers in that area. But also, I realize that I can pull up, and I gotta swap focuses here. So I quit sharing screen, open up Google Earth, because you can see a lot of these rock layers from space.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So here's the town of Grable. That's where I was mostly staying at. This right here, this mountain here, is called Sheep Mountain, and it's sort of where the oldest rock in the area is at the surface. And you start from, I believe, Mississippian, so about 300-ish million years old. And you can see that these rock layers are all tilted. Like, you can see the lines are going up at an angle, and they keep going up towards the center of the mountain. And you go from marine to, I believe, terrestrial, to marine, to terrestrial. This red band here is the chug water, that I mentioned earlier in the stream. That goes into transitional marine to fully marine. This is the sun dance here. There's beautiful sand dunes preserved in this layer until it eventually becomes deep marine. Then there's an unconformity, and you get into Morrison rock. So this is all Morrison, it's terrestrial. There's another unconformity, and then you get Cloverly right on top of that. And then from there, it is a sequence, and you can even see the lines where the different layers start and stop. Like a series of marine sediments going really, really far. Here, I got to go a bit farther north to show it well, I think. Yeah, it goes really, really far. And then there's a barrier. Right about here, I think, is where the Matizzi Formation is. There's like 5 or 6 other formations over to the right that we just flew over. But the Matizzi is transitional. And from there, you get into the Lance Formation, and you start finding dinosaurs again. The Lance is famous for like T-Rex and Triceratops and all kinds of stuff like that.
And
Nanotyrant. I might have found Nanotyrannus teeth, and I'm both happy and mad that I can say that now. But I've actually gone right here looking for fossils, like this exact area, and the KT boundary is right about here.
If I remember
right about
correctly,
here.
I think those like marine deposits between the Cloverly and the and where that transitional formation are from the Western Interior Seaway. I think.
Everything from here. Let me just make a path here, because I could do that on Google Earth. Everything from here to here is Western. No, wait. No, started too soon. Everything from here to about here is Western Interior Seaway. So that's all marine, but they're all different environments within those marine deposits, and you find different fossils. To either side, it's all terrestrial, basically, except for a brief interlude of aquatic stuff here. But even then, there are transitions where those transitions are preserved. They're not always preserved, but they often are. And you can just see this in different areas, especially for most people out there. Most states publish like official geology books. Highly recommend. They can show you all kinds of really cool things.
Not to mention, I think the U.S. has its own, like, I think it has an official government-sponsored geological survey team.
USGS, yeah. Yeah, rocks are pretty freaking cool. And they're from a lot of different environments and eras. All that to say, Carl has no idea what a rock is. I don't think.
And I thought Kent Hovind was weird for not knowing what a dinosaur is. Imagine knowing what a rock is.
Oh yeah. Sydney's asking, how could terrestrial and marine strata have interbedded? That's not possible. Sea levels never changed, ever. It's definitely not starting to do that now. Anyway.
It's a major problem for evolution, because these layers are above 500 feet, and for these saltwater creatures to be in each of these layers, that means that the ocean would have had to rise above sea level, above 500 feet, 18 separate times.
Okay, I think he's saying all of these sites are at least 500 feet above sea level, but he said it weird.
Okay.
And yeah, that's not surprising, Carl. Plate tectonics are a thing. We can literally measure it. We literally measure it. Here, I'm going to play him, and I'm going to try to find something.
Ocean would have to come up. Ocean would have to go down. Ocean would have to come up. Ocean would have to come down, because there's land animals mixed in with these saltwater creatures. Now that sounds silly, and I would say, which is more believable? The foolish Christian idea that there was a worldwide flood, where'd the water come from, where'd it go, all those questions. But which is more foolish? That or the evolutionist standpoint, they would have to say there was 18 worldwide floods. Well, I'm going with the rule of parsimony, which is
Carl, I would have to say your foolish misinterpretation of what scientific evidence actually shows is the more unbelievable one.
Good. Yeah, I would agree, Cade. Carl, does it make more sense that an entire field of science is just made up of hopes and dreams and misinterpretations, or do you not understand geology?
Carl, you should just quit your job and go play video games.
That's probably good advice.
That can go for a lot of these speakers. But also, I did want to show this. This is from Berkeley. This is a live earthquake map all over the world.
Oh, I love
You know what these earthquakes are?
Fault lines.
It's the Earth moving. Like, we literally measure plate tectonics in modern day. It's crazy. Oh, there's a big one in Alaska.
Oh.
Is that okay, maybe not. 3.4. I guess. What do the different dots mean? Do the dots have any correlation to how strong they are? Maybe not. But
it could be like, it could also be like different colored dots represent when the earthquake took place. Like maybe red is like super recent, blue is like somewhat recent, and then yellow was like relatively old.
Blue's 3:36 p.m. Maybe you might be right. These yellow ones seem to be from a few days ago. And this red one, this red one happened 4 minutes ago. Oh, maybe you're right, Caden.
Whoa.
Yeah, 4 minutes ago. That's kind of spooky. But yeah, Carl, we measure plate tectonics.
Carl, you should go back to college.
I think Carl should go back to middle school.
the simplest.
He's too young. He's too old for middle school.
I think he could learn a few things, though.
That's true.
With one big flood. The second question for you is, how many of the rock layers, I'm talking like the Jurassic layer and the Cretaceous layer and the Cambrian layer, how many of these should have modern animals in them if there was creation and a flood? And let me lay this out to you with illustrations, okay? Think about this, because you should be able to answer this for yourself, and I want you to be the scientist.
Well, okay, before he gives us the answer, how many of these 18 rock layers should have modern animals if there was a single creation event?
Only the top Cenozoic era layer.
Well, no, if there was a single creation event followed by a flood.
Then it would just be on the bottom.
Oh yeah, it would all be at the bottom because everything would sink to the bottom and the bottom would get covered. Like,
I guess under his model, I guess you would expect an even distribution of like just the same ecosystem kind of over and over again as you go up.
Well, you wouldn't have any ecosystems. It would just be the same churned up, crushed remains.
Yeah. Honestly, if this is the kind of dude who, at least he isn't Roger from Mud Fossil.
Ooh.
That's a low bar to walk over because it's buried.
Because at that point, you're
I
thinking rocks are literal organs. This is
well,
not
it's
Project
true.
Hail
He
Mary,
hasn't said that
Carl.
yet. He hasn't said that yet, but some creationists do say crap like that. Like Carl Baugh, a different Carl. And actually, speaking of Roger, I think I might be watching some Roger tomorrow because I'm going to be on a friend of the channel, Maya Adkisson's show, Bad Science Sunday.
Ah,
And she has let me know there might be some Roger in my future, which
Ooh.
is always an enjoyable time.
So if you believe in creation, there was Adam and Eve. They lived in the garden. They had the apple tree. They had the snake. And there was modern animals there, like a duck and the flamingo. But the Bible says that God created all the animals at once in that first week. So the dinosaurs would have had to be not necessarily in the Garden of Eden, but they would have been there.
Yes, Caden.
citation needed the Bible.
I mean, doesn't the Bible say that Adam named all of the animals?
Yes, but
So
I
they would have had
also
to be there for him to name.
That's true.
true, but also again, there's like at some a lot but the versions of the stories we have in the Bible didn't start out as written records. They started out as like oral history or like oral records. And if you've ever played a game of telephone, you know over time what you said is going to get scrambled. We don't know what the original story was because all we have is the one that's been telephoned and then written down.
It's true. But then again, a lot of creationists do this weird thing where they further reinterpret the Bible, like to include dinosaurs. For example,
There's already
they
dinosaurs
love
in
to
the
do
Bible. They're
that.
called birds.
True.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, non-avian dinosaurs.
Yes.
But then there's the
They love
creationists who
to
say,
read
"Oh,
them.
dinosaurs don't exist. They were made up to hide giants and dragons."
Believe it or not, my high school biology teacher apparently believed that.
Wow.
I graduated in 2019.
Jeez.
Oh, I graduated in 2024.
So you have animals that went extinct and animals that didn't go extinct all together. Then this big water event happened called Noah's flood, and they all got emerged in the ocean water, and now they got mixed up.
Did
Do
he
you
mean
mean submerged?
submerged?
I don't think Carl's very good with words.
Carl, I think you need to take a grammar class. Learn English.
And
No hablo inglés. Also, what is that sauropod skull there? Is that an apatosaurus? It looks weird.
I don't know what that skull is. It looks like a weird sauropod iguanodontid hybrid.
It looks like.
I think it's badly photoshopped.
I think that's I'm having trouble seeing because it's a projection on a screen share, but I think that's a diplodocid skull on something else's neck.
I mean, that could be an apatosaurus nest. They're pretty thin.
Like, at least the T-Rex skull is recognizable.
Well, yeah. But I don't know which Rex that is. Or that might be one of the MOR ones.
It
looks like maybe 555.
The head to me kind of looks like the Winkle Rex model outside of the MOR.
Yeah, I think it's Winkle. Yeah, looking at the front of the mouth, I think it's Winkle. Just interesting. Usually they use the AMNH one, or Sue. Well, no, they love Scotty. They love
Everyone loves Scotty.
Yeah.
Mixed up in the rock layers, if Noah's flood is true, you would have animals that didn't go extinct, like the duck and the deer and the flamingo, mixed with animals that did go extinct after the flood, like dinosaurs or pterosaurs. So my question to you, if there was a Noah's flood, and if all these animals were living at the same time, and it was a one-time creation, how many of the named rock layers should have modern animals? Watch this, because you're going to watch history be made right now. Have you ever?
Okay, so I think we can agree. If this happened, we should have modern animals at all players. If. But not any, like, not family level or order level BS. Like, modern species should be done.
Charitably modern genera, at least.
At least. Because 4,000 years is a very short time, especially for vertebrates to evolve, at least large vertebrates.
Heard a scientist say there's modern animals in every layer? Nobody knows this. These 900 people will now know, and the word will get out. Okay, hold on. Yeah. I want to first clarify, what is a modern animal? Modern versus modern appearing versus modern species. The evolution scientists have done a trickery, and this is really deceptive, and you'd have to spend your life looking into this to figure this out. First of all, I just want to show you some modern dogs.
We've done a trickery.
We've done a trickery.
We've bamboozled them.
Saturday morning cartoon villain. I shall do a trickery, He-Man.
Ah, Perry the Platypus.
Yes.
You're just in time to witness my creationisminator.
My concavinator.
Shit, that got me. Behold, Perry the Platypus, my Afrobinator.
There's a lot of good venators that you can do that with.
Behold, my
Yes.
Ichthyovinator.
Oh wait, they're already part fish.
Yeah, that's true.
Dog skulls, like a Chihuahua on the bottom left, the Bulldog, the Irish Wolfhound. If you'll notice, these are all the same species, Canis familiaris, they're all dogs. But look how different their teeth are. Look how different their skull shapes are. Look how different the proportionality of their skulls, wide, tall, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah,
So
that's
this
what
is true.
happens
Modern
when you
dogs do have-
selectively breed a single species over thousands of years because you want one to have a face that looks like it got smashed with an anvil.
Yeah.
Exactly. Creationists love to take examples of artificial selection and say, we can apply this to the entirety of the fossil record. It does not work. You do not have the same mechanisms. These things are bred to fulfill a human's wants and then sleep in a kennel with food. They don't have to hunt unless they are hunting dogs. And hunting dogs look very much like wolves.
Yep,
Or have been modified some ways, like bloodhounds.
that's true.
And let's play devil's advocate. Let's go forward 10 million years in the future and be future alien paleontologists. Well, one, you would see a crap ton of stuff from humans still preserved, like our cities on rock.
Yep.
You would see an explosion in population of these weird primates that are almost always associated with canids. And these canids suddenly go from being very wolf-like to very weird in the same time frame. No species evolves in a vacuum. And the other thing is, too, it's not just dogs. You see the same thing with suiforms, pigs, with goats, with sheep, with
With cows.
cattle.
Yep.
You would see All of
Camels.
these massive changes happening with very specific animal breeds, all around humans, and their preserved structures, much of which would fossilize, much of which would preserve. It would not be hard to figure out what happened there. And we do not see that in the fossil record.
Ooh.
Not unless you want to say, like, what's another vertebrate animal that suddenly explodes? Not unless you want to say, like, Lystrosaurus was farming Phytosaurs or something like that.
Lystrosaurus. Yeah.
Which, you know what, those
creationists,
little demons, maybe. But
the
other than that, no.
the Lystrosaurus takeover that the creationists don't want you to know about, because they have to have all of them become super rare after the flood, so that way we can mistake them for mythical creatures.
Yeah, where did all the Lystrosaurs go after Noah's flood? They were exceptionally successful. I can't imagine a species like that going extinct.
One genus became half of all terrestrial life for a few million years after the worst mass extinction to ever happen on Earth.
I think it was more than half. I think some estimates are up to like 80%.
And
Oh my
again,
goodness.
in
80% of
spots, yeah.
terrestrial vertebrate biomass, a single genus.
I think so. So, okay, now that demon has been brought up, though, Drip, have you ever heard of the Lystrosaurus cave art?
Oh yeah. Where it's like the walrus-looking thing. I think it's from. Is it from South Africa or Australia?
It's from South Africa.
Yeah. Oh, because that's right around the Karoo Basin. But there's the argument that
I might have shown it to you last year.
I think you showed it to me last year, and then I read the paper. That was a trip.
Do you think it might be anywhere near credible? Because I still think it's a big reach.
I'm personally quite skeptical of any sort of interpretation of fossils spawning mythology, mainly because I think a lot of groups of people are both more intelligent and more creative than we give them credit for when we're doing things like anthropology. We generally, academics tend to underestimate the capacity to which people will know stuff and the capacity that they'll make stuff up. There are some areas where I think it actually is plausible that some stuff was spawned by fossils, particularly in the Dene oral tradition. A lot of our like oral traditions are definitely in reference to specific fossils. In particular, like, but not in the way that like they're in reference to specific fossil taxa. There are like actual fossil sites that are, said to be physical, like parts of oral stories and like myths and stuff. So it's that kind of thing is what I'm familiar with. So anything that's kind of vague and non-specific, like, oh, maybe they found this skull and told a story about it, I find that a little bit of a reach.
I do feel like I have to ask, do you have any specific stories or mythical creatures you could maybe share?
Yeah, so the big
Specific
one
you're
is
thinking of?
there's a theropod trackway in Navajo land that's called Big Lizard Tracks, and there's a myth surrounding that trackway, talking about these two like mythical hero figures called the Twin Heroes, where basically there's a bunch of monsters that come out of the ocean and they beat them into submission and scare them away, and then you have this like physical remainder of that story. And there's a lot of stuff like that, not just with fossils, but also with geology across a lot of oral traditions across North America, like Bear Butte.
Cool.
I've heard that like the myth of the Cyclops came into being from people finding the skulls of ancient elephants and not knowing what they were, and thinking that like where the big nostril hole where the trunk is, they thought that was like a giant eye hole.
I am partial to that. I think that's one of the more viable ones, especially because elephant postcranial bones, like the actual rest of the body, look almost identical to human bones. Elephant bones are very, very easy to mistake for a human skeleton. They have very similar pelvies and hips and just general body proportions.
I want to say I was a senior in college until I realized that elephants aren't ungulates, like some weird ungulates. I just never come up.
Elephants are Afrotherians.
Yeah.
Well, I know that now, but like that was the first time I actually took an actual look at the skeleton. They're just chunky humans.
Yeah.
They're weird. They're so leggy. They're so weirdly leggy. Maybe I'm just saying that because I'm used to sauropods, but they're so leggy.
It really hits.
And even weirder is that their closest living relatives are the weird mermaid-looking manatees and dugongs and the furry, cold-blooded hyraxes.
Yeah, hyraxes are so
Hyraxes are
weird.
cold-blooded?
They're
hyraxes are one of the few mammals that aren't able to easily maintain their own internal body temperature.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
This is why I feel like I will never be bored of biology. There's just so many random things to learn.
No.
Like you'll never know everything.
I have a lot of folks. I know a lot of folks who work with proboscideans, and I've had the chance to work with them like in situ. And when you're looking like down on just a headless mammoth skeleton that's all articulated together, it just looks like a giant person. Like if you don't look at the little anatomical clues that tell you that no, this is an elephant, it could be very, very easy to mistake that for a giant monster. And I think probably the most compelling way that I could imagine a Cyclops myth happening is an isolated, like first you have the post crania, and that gets discovered, and then there's a giant myth, and then the skull is found. Because I do think that if it was just a skull, that might not easily be understood to be like that of a giant person, because elephant skulls do look pretty distinct and weird.
I mean, they do look weird. Like the thing for me is like, sure, the tusks would probably be preserved. Like, especially if it's like a mastodon. Like mastodon teeth look a lot like human premolars.
Oh yeah, each mastodon tooth looks like a set of human molars, which is
premolars. But yeah.
Yeah.
And at my university, we had a mastodon skull in one of the labs. There's like half of one that was flipped upside down. It was found in like a river or somewhere near us. I have a very specific memory of putting my fist inside of the neural canal. I don't know why. I was just like, can it fit? It does.
Yeah.
Honestly, that sounds like something I would have done as a little kid.
Well, sometimes you just have to satisfy that urge to be like, I want to touch it.
If not friend, then why friend-shaped?
Oh dear. I think I should.
They look like different animals. And if you had never met a dog and you were an evolution scientist, you would want to name these all different genus and species names, say they're different animals or different families. But the reality is they're the same.
No, they would all be readily identifiable as canids.
Yeah, they would at the very least, all be in the same genus.
Yeah, like the specifics of their anatomy might be different, but they have all the identifiable features that would label them as canids, and we would probably be able to place them as. We would probably be able to reconstruct rough, like ancestral lines within Canis lupus familiaris. We'd probably still be able to identify it as Canis, like genus Canis at the very least.
The only way you would be naming these entirely different genera is if you had never seen a dog in your life and didn't know what a dog was.
That's true. Well, the other thing is,
Species.
Oh,
if
And here's-
all dogs
sorry.
went extinct, if all dogs went extinct today, except for Chihuahuas and Great Danes, they would in fact be separate species because they would have split into two completely genetically isolated lineages. So, what you're seeing with modern dogs is standing variation that we do see in animal populations. Obviously, it's more exaggerated because of artificial selection, but
Because of humans.
yeah, but it's not like there's it's not like there's not a kind of speciation happening, which I think is really interesting. We have dog breeds that are completely incapable of exchanging genetic material and have the
And then
potential.
there's the basically the single-celled parasitic cancerous dog that
That's true.
exists.
That's true. We have a
That's true.
non-vertebrate. We have a non-vertebrate vertebrate dog.
Mm,
CTV
Clint's
is my
History
favorite.
of vertebrate, but it has no vertebrae.
As Clint's reptiles would say, not all dogs have bones.
I love Prince Reptiles. He's great.
Yeah, some of his videos I'm not too keen on because he partners with a fossil seller, but I try to look past
Oh.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is there's great variation within a species. You look around this room, there's tall people, short people, flat-faced people, broad-faced people, whatever, etc. There's variation with the species. But this is what evolutionists have done, and this is why nobody has caught this. This is a modern nautilus shell. They live at 300 feet deep right now. They're from the top layer. This is what it looks like if you cut it open, okay? It's a beautiful animal, okay? It has these chambers, etc. This is a fossil.
So, is this a nautilus or an ammonite? Because there are
I
ways to
would
tell
say
the
that's an
difference.
ammonite.
I believe that's a nautilus, actually, or at least a nautiloid.
Let's see. I know there's a way to tell the difference from the interior. I think part of it is the septae.
Yeah, ammonites have like the fractal septae, I believe.
I will admit that when I was younger, I used to think nautiluses were like related to ammonites. When I was
Everyone
younger,
does. I mean, just look at them.
They are both cephalopods, but they're not super.
yeah, their ancestors separated during like the early Devonian.
I think maybe Ordovician.
Well, like
it's a very deep division.
The oldest true ammonites that we have are from the Devonian, though.
Okay, maybe not then. Sorry, I'm trying to look for differences, for like the official differences. I know there are.
Mm.
Like, there's differences in how the shells, like the individual, the chambers, the septae.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
I
maybe
really wish we still had giant orthocone nautiloids.
That would be cool.
that'd be cool.
Oh, speaking of orthocones, Surviving Earth, I think, is gonna be coming out soon.
Oh yeah, I think
Very
so.
cool. Well, that being said, nautilins are a very, very old group anyway. So
They're the oldest cephalopods, I think.
nautiloids might be,
Yeah. So the tube that goes through the shell in Nautilus, they go through the center of the chambers. In Ammonites, it runs along the outer edge.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, sutures. Sutures are uniformly curved in modern Nautilus, but they tend to undulate in extinct Ammonites. And yeah, those are the main differences with the shell. So looking at this, it has a tube running through the middle and relatively, like, not undulating sutures. So, oh yeah, and also on the outside of the shell, the ammonites have a very complicated suture pattern that is often specific to each species, or at least each genus.
Fun fact
This
about
does indeed look
ammonites.
like a nautilus, but
Mm.
I am not a cephalopod researcher, but I doubt it is identical to a modern nautilus.
Uh, Speaking of ammonites, we apparently it's now somewhat confirmed that a few ammonite genera survived into the Paleogene for a short while.
That's true. That's
True.
very exciting.
Unfortunately, short time, but for a time.
Nautilus that was found in the Jurassic layer, and now I'm going to lay them next to each other. They look like the same animal. That is crazy. Like they do.
Sinoceras.
Okay, Sinoceras. Let's look it up. Anytime he gives us an actual genus name, look it up. Okay, it is a nautilid specific. It is a nautilid. So it is the group we would call a modern nautilus.
But it's not the same genus as the modern nautilus.
No.
No. Very much.
Oh, okay. This is interesting. It has a
It's not
range
even-
from the Triassic to the Jurassic.
Yeah, nautilid genuses are genera are very, very long lived because they're quite slow to evolve. They're just very conserved animals because they're benthic, and the bottom of the ocean does not change very rapidly.
Look at this
compared to a lot of other
fossil.
ecosystems.
Ooh.
That's beautiful. But yeah, benthic organisms typically evolve very slowly. The bottom of the
Also,
ocean is a very
Sinoceras-
slow-paced environment.
Also, Sinoceras is freaking giant. I don't know if you've ever seen
Is it?
a nautilus in person, but they're quite small. Sinoceras is like a foot across.
So,
Really?
and then there's the
Sometimes-
Minecraft
sometimes more.
nautiluses that they just added.
Sometimes more. I'm looking at a specimen right now. I don't know if this is from the Jurassic, but it looks like it's about 50 centimeters in diameter.
Oh
But
my
these things
goodness.
are gigantic. And also, something that you can see is if you look at modern nautiluses, the opening of their shell is shaped quite differently. I don't know if I can send this picture to you so you can. How do I open
Sure, I
this
can pull it up
picture?
on Discord.
Yeah, this is a really big one, and it shows like how not only how large it is, but also how weird and wide it is compared to living nautiluses.
And then there's ammonites that can get as big as people.
Yep.
Oh, I gotta
Thank you, Sydney.
find it, but I actually made a flyer. Oh wow, yeah, that's big. Let
It's a
me,
big boy.
really big boy. Can I just open it? Yes, I can. I'm gonna look for it real quick, but I did a handout for a museum I was volunteering at, specifically about Parapuzosia.
Mm.
I can. Oh, it shows my name. Let's see, can I? There, just gonna blank out my name real quick. Here we are. Well, this was an info card I made for a museum.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and that's the Parapuzosia suture pattern.
I was going to say it's so cool that the background is the suture pattern. That's such a good detail. I think that should be mandatory for all ammonite exhibits now. So they have to have the suture pattern in the background.
Yeah, I was proud of this one. I was happy for this one. And I made this to print on a normal piece of paper, so it was just like cut here for a square display.
That is so cool. That's great.
I
I
say
miss
we
doing stuff like that.
I say we use the fossil fire technology, revive that genus, and then feed Carl to it.
There is a Potapu is an ammonite in fossil fighters.
It
fun.
is.
The second game gave you 3 different ammonites you could revive. It's hard to find a good big picture, but yeah, here is Potapu.
Ah,
There's its in-game sprite. Oh, that's tiny. Thank you. I think there were a few others. Just opens the Wikipedia for ammonites. Thank you.
All right. I am enjoying the ammonite discussion very much. However, I do think I'm going to head to bed now.
okay.
Just so
Good night,
I
Dryptosaurus.
Good night. It's been a lovely time, and I'm sorry I couldn't stay for longer. And thank you very much for inviting me.
Don't apologize. Do you have anything coming up on your channel you want to shout out?
Not today because it's technically under wraps. I actually do. That I can talk about. I am making a video soon about a couple of the animals in prehistoric. Well, actually, just one of the animals in prehistoric kingdom, specifically Tiktaalik. And I was able to get a very, very special guest on as an interviewee because I don't know that much about lobefin fish. So I got Ted Deschler, who's the guy who authored the paper describing Tiktaalik, to
Nice.
record the video with me and explain some of the design choices and why they are or aren't based in science, which is cool. So that's going to be
awesome. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. All right. I will see you.
I'll see you soon. I'll link your channel in the description so people can check you out.
Bye.
Before you leave, speaking of Tiktaalik, there is a song about it on YouTube.
Oh yeah. Ted has seen that. It's a good song. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Now it is just us. I will say to... Oh, did I? Okay, I did pin it. To anyone in chat, if you would like to join us and join the discussion or anything, there is a link to join pinned in the chat. All I ask is that you be a decent person, which most of you are, and give me a quick wave on camera before I pop you on. You don't have to be on camera after that, just making sure you're clothed, because people have hopped on without clothes before. It's not a fun surprise.
So that was the surprise that you were talking about.
Yeah, I have had that happen at least once. It was not fun. I had to delete a segment of the stream.
Okay.
Yeah. People are people. And
Yes.
people can be weird.
Look like exact copies, in my opinion. But the evolutionists changed their names. The modern is called Nautilus.
I mean, except that the shell actually has a canal running through instead of like the notches that the modern Nautilus has.
Carl.
This one is also... Apparently, Sinoceros also does get notably bigger than the modern Nautilus. You probably had to mess with the scale to get them at the same size.
Yeah, Carl, your opinion is wrong. They are clearly different genera.
They are not the same animal, even though they look similar.
Just like how
Just
the
because
ancient,
it looks like a maple leaf does not make it a maple leaf.
Just like how the ancient Jurassic era horseshoe crabs aren't the same genus as the modern horseshoe crab. Though actually they might be. I don't know. The modern genus of horseshoe crab has been around for a long time.
I don't know enough about invertebrates to say, sadly, but I imagine they are, at the very least, different species. The very, very least.
Pompilius, the fossil is called Sinoceros lineatus. So they would say, no, evolution occurred. It went from Sinoceros to Nautilus. No, evolution didn't occur. You changed their names. You made it have the appearance of evolution. You've created the illusion of evolution by changing the names. So basically, you have to ignore all names, just like dates. Ignore all their names and judge it just for yourself. Do these two look as similar as a dog?
Okay, Carl, your uninformed opinion does not trump what the specialists say. I am sorry to tell you. I would not tell you how to fix a broken bone. You should not tell me what does and does not count as a different species.
Oh my goodness, Carl. That's it. I'm forcing Carl to watch Gene Diver, and he is going to be tied with black licorice, which everybody hates to eat.
I have never had black licorice.
I've
At least I
heard
don't think I
everyone
have.
hates it.
I've heard it tastes vaguely like root beer, but I could be wrong.
And I would say absolutely. They look more similar than a bunch of dogs. So they'd have to be the same species. So when I'm saying modern, they're going to have wrong names on them, but you be the judge. And I'm going to take you through the rock layers. What is the reality? How many modern animals are in the layers? Here's the bottommost layer. This is a sea pen. Guess what?
That is not a
That's
sea
a living
pen.
sea pen.
Yeah, that
And you put them next to each other.
is that an
And
AI
man,
generated
do
video?
they look
That
I'm not
looks
sure.
AI
That might,
generated.
similar, like the dogs. They look.
yeah, Carl, that's not a. We have been over this already. That is not a sea pen. That is not even in the same. That is barely in the same kingdom of Animalia.
It is like literally Animalia, but we don't know where in Animalia it goes.
Yeah, it is. What was it again? It is a petaloname. Petaloname. Or frondomorph is what it's called. It is its own. It is in its own phylum. Like, no, Carl, no.
Just
Exactly the same. Of course, they gave them different names. Here's the next layer up. Oh, she's not in a layer. This is my wife. And I don't know if you met my beautiful wife back there, but she normally doesn't look like this, and she is not happy. We're in the Caribbean, and we're filming video 2, Living Fossils. She's on the sailboat, and she came back into the sailboat. She said, I am so mad. I was like, what's the matter? I just got bit. I said, where'd you get bit? A shark? He said, no, it was a bristleworm. It's on my mustache area. I was like, what are you talking about? She said, well, I had to snorkel in, and this bristleworm landed right here and stung me. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, Debbie, but we got to keep filming. No. Get back in the water. No. This is the animal that bit her. It stung her, okay? It's called a bristleworm. Now, I'm going up to the second layer from the bottom, the Cambrian, right? That's supposed to be old and no modern animals in it. Here's this bristleworm in the Cambrian layer.
Okay, what are you? Let's see.
I have no idea what that is. It could be anywhere from like it could
Stephenosolex?
I don't know what that is. It for all I know, it could be a primitive chordate like Picaya.
Stephenosolus? I'm just turning up someone named Stefan on Instagram.
It's very blurry.
O Solax arbutus. Okay, let me see. Cambrian bristleworm. Let's see if I can just look it up. Might be it. Give me a second. I'm just looking it up. Nope, that's not it. Polycate worm. Oh, wait, is that? Nope, that's not the right fossil. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. I cannot for the life of me. Whatever.
If only we
Okay,
had, if only we had the CSI video enhancement thing.
that'd be nice. I'll say that is Stephen O. something Olax. Anyway, it's a polychaete worm. These things apparently might come from the Ediacaran. Um, we have a lot. Like, this is a class within the phylum Annelida. This is a class of invertebrates. That is so much. Like, there's an unbelievable variety of organisms. It being an invertebrate really just does not help. Like, sorry, you can't just say this looks like a modern thing when you're
It,
pointing to a class of animals. Like, this is like saying we found a mammal in the Jurassic. It's
it's
no.
like you, that thing is like you. I really wish that he would zoom in on the video, or just make it somehow put the actual genus down, or make the genus more prominent so we can actually figure out what is on screen.
Oh, oh, that's why I couldn't find it. He misspelled it.
Stephanocolex,
Stephanoscolex.
a genus of polychaete worm known from the Middle Cambrian Burgess Shale. 150 specimens of Stephanocolex are known from the greater phyllopod bed, where they comprise 0.29% of the community.
Yep. Oh, let's see. Maybe we can get. Oh no! Way back machine. No. Oh no.
Oh no, indeed.
When the Wayback Machine can't save us. Dang it. But yeah, okay, it was a fossil from the Burgess Shale. That's fabulous. We have so many things from the Burgess Shale. And yeah, you can say this looks like a worm.
But
The
that's like
most basic body
saying
plan of animals. Oh no, we have a thing like it.
this looks like a shrimp when you're looking at an entire body plan.
This is like pointing to an arthropod and saying we have an arthropod. And we have modern arthropods, so it must be the same thing.
It's a fossil, picture of the fossil, and the drawing of the animal, all on display at Smithsonian, and there's Debbie's bristleworm. To me, it looks like a modern animal in the Cambrian.
It is a modified tube. You're pointing to two tubes
You're pointing
and
at
saying they're
two
the same
long
thing.
nope ropes.
Like, sorry to Debbie, but it's just a worm.
Going on, here's the Ordovician, modern and fossil. Here's the Silurian, modern and fossil. Here's the whatever, Devonian, brittle star,
those are
brittle
bristle
star.
stars.
And one day, Debbie and I were walking down the beach in New Zealand. It's a common occurrence. Yeah, we were walking down the beach in New Zealand. And I said, look, Debbie, there is a stem crinoid on the shore. And I always thought these things were extinct. When I was a kid, we'd see them in the sidewalk, fossils. And so she picked this dead crinoid up, and it looks just like this fossil sea lily from the Mississippian layer. So there's another modern layer. Here's a starfish.
Yes,
So
they do look
regarding
similar. They are not the same.
Regarding crinoids, sea lilies, they used to be a lot more common. Now they're almost exclusively found in the deep sea, while modern crinoids, the more common variety are feather stars, which do the weird swimming thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, crinoids have evolved into a wide variety of body types and niches for such a strangely simple body plan. Like, there are some today that look like their ancient ancestors. A lot of them don't. It's just that that specific body plan has been pretty dang successful because it's good at what it does. So some members of the group are going to remain that way, while others differentiate. Welcome to evolution. I'm glad you paid attention in the 6th grade, Carl.
Starfish. Here's a lungfish, live at the bottom, the fossil.
Okay, what are you?
Uh,
God, I cannot even tell you. Yeah, we've had lungfish since at least the Devonian.
we've had sarcopterygians since the Devonian. That's like saying you found a fish. Hey, look, there's a fish.
Yeah, it is indeed a fish, Carl. Do you have anything more productive to share with the class?
Go.
Recreation on top. They look
Nope.
like the same animal.
And again, a snail, a snail. Like here is the big thing here. Carl is being so reductive. It is just agonizing. He is gesturing to these groups of organisms that are incredibly diverse. And some of their modern members look like these fossil things. And saying therefore they must be the same thing. It is incredibly dishonest.
Miss Frizzle's class has a more productive day than Carl in this presentation.
Yeah. And again, Carl, just not to be elitist, but just because you, an untrained, uninformed man, do not understand the difference between these things, does not mean that there isn't a difference. Like, I cannot see the text that is on screen. I cannot tell you what that thing is. It could be a completely extinct order of snails, for all I know, because that's happened multiple times.
You're literally
snail?
just pointing to a snail.
Yeah. Or this ray. We've had fish like these since, depending on how far you want to stretch it, since the Ordovician. Like, it's
A ray, a sea biscuit, a trumpet fish, and we're going up the layers. Eocene, walnut, frog.
frog.
That's a sand dollar.
Well, he just showed a frog. A Miocene frog. Yeah, is Anura an order?
Yeah,
Let's see.
it's an order of Lysymphibia.
Yeah, like, yes, an order of amphibians. That is not the same species. Carl, there are frogs alive today. You know that not every species of frog is the same.
Like,
You
there's
know
tree
that, Carl.
frogs, there's bullfrogs, there's the Pac-Man frogs, there's
Glass
Beelzebufo.
Gliding frogs.
Sand dollar, coral. You get it? So, in reality, modern appearing animals are found in
Canis lupus. Boss Taurus. A Balin like give us something smaller than an order or a family, Carl. Because
Give us,
orders and
like,
families can survive for tens of millions of years. There's no reasons why they shouldn't. Get into
The o-
individual species
the
or
only
genera, at least. I beg you.
the only individual genera he showed us was Nautilus and Cenoceras.
And even then, there are differences you can see on screen. Even then, Carl, your one example is flat. Give us something,
Like
something, just something.
Every rock layer. Now that is big news.
the people watching his presentation look so uninterested.
I can't see them.
We're going to deliver the coup de grace. We're going to do the checkmate on this thing. How
Yes, thank you, Sydney. There are over 7,900 known species of frogs and toads alive today. Because frogs have been on Earth for about 140 million years, the total number of extinct and living species combined is estimated to be significantly higher. Yes, thank you for putting it in actual numbers, Sydney. I appreciate that.
many extinct animals? We already said there's saltwater animals in every layer. We already said there's modern animals in every layer. But how many extinct animals should you find in every layer?
To reiterate, the layers he's talking about are chunks of rock from roughly similar time periods that he's all lumping together. Because he does not understand what stratigraphy is.
If there was just Noah's flood, okay? Well, the evolutionists say that 99% of all animals that have ever lived on the earth, plants and animals, 99%
Species. Be specific, Carl.
have gone extinct in the past. We can compare what we have now to the past. Some of that was ice age, some of it was during the flood, some of it was different reasons. But the evolutionists would say 99%. So that would mean that there's going to be any layer you look at is going to look like all these extinct animals, and it's going to give the illusion of evolution. Because if you look at any layer, you're going to say, oh, I've never seen that animal before. Oh, I've never seen it. But that is what you expect if there was creation, a flood, and a 99% extinction rate. You would expect every rock layer to have a ratio of extinct animals, 99 extinct animals, to every one modern animal you would find if creation is true and a flood.
Citation
Why?
needed, Carl.
Because it would be convenient to him, I guess. That doesn't make any sense to me at all.
This at this point, Carl, you should just go back to. You should literally just like it. Your entire audience looks entirely disinterested in your presentation. You should just give up and like get a real job.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that, but just it's getting kind of painful. I'm getting a little bit of a headache because it's just
I'm sorry, Doc.
dumb. But you're fine. I do this to myself. Carl needs to go to school for a lot of things.
And this is what we find. Every layer, you find saltwater creatures. I just showed them to you, all the layers. You find modern animals. I just showed them to you, every layer. And the ratio of modern animals to the extinct animals in every layer is about 99. It looks like evolution, but it's not. It's just extinction. And that is checkmate. That is the end. Because you just predicted that there would be modern animals in every layer. You just predicted there would be saltwater animals in every creature, every layer. And the evolutionist told you that the ratio of extinction is 99 to 1. That is what is found.
My goodness.
He is a pigeon, playing chess, crapping on the board.
No, he is a rabid pigeon biting the board, tossing the pieces willy-nilly.
He's doing a lot of things to the pieces. And yeah, as Sydney's asking, where are all the modern Homo sapiens killed in the flood? Carl, why are they all in the very tippy top of the rock layers? Why are they all in the very top? Every single one?
Like,
Why is Australopithecus always found below Homo sapiens, Carl?
why
Why?
is Homo erectus found above Australopithecus but below Homo sapiens?
That's not what the evolutionist model predicts. So I wanted to mention one other thing. I'm done now, but I forgot to tell you that because I'm a doubting Thomas, I don't believe anybody. I don't even believe my own mother, God rest her soul. And I don't believe my wife. I don't believe anybody because I've been burned so many times with science. And so I wouldn't believe me unless you show me the facts. And I forgot to mention that I said on the last talk that there's 150 frauds. That's a big, tall order.
Oh my goodness.
But I didn't mention is that we enumerated them.
Yes,
Carl, if
there
you
are.
don't believe anybody, then you don't believe God either.
I was just gonna say he's one of those frauds, but I think he has to believe God for his grift to work.
No,
Well, I
because
call it a grift. I have
if
no.
he believed God, then he
direct-
wouldn't be misinterpreting the Bible to support his own beliefs.
I'm just saying I said grift. I cannot prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that he is not just ignorant, but he is certainly spreading ignorant things willingly for money as a business.
Fraud
we'll finish
1,
this off.
Fraud 2, in the video series, episodes 3 through 8, Fraud 3, Fraud 4, Fraud 5, all the way through 150. And so you can verify if you agree with me that those were frauds. I show you why they're frauds because they had the knowledge that of something that they didn't tell you, et cetera. So my dream for this whole conference is that somehow these young ones, hey, wake up, young one. That these young ones would go through this 4-semester creation science. It's high school or 7th and 8th grade. You could start it at 6th grade. And you do all 4 semesters. By the way, I'm not making any money on this. That you then become a defender of the faith. And you can tell everybody about all the facts that we just went through. That is my heart's desire. So if you want to get the streaming video, you can go to our website. You can order the streaming video through my wife, or she'll help you order the DVDs. So thank you so much.
Carl, you don't have to deny science in order to believe in God.
Well, he thinks he does, and that's what matters. So that was Carl. I don't think we're gonna go for a second video tonight.
That's my bad.
It's not your bad, Cade. It's fine. Thank you for hopping on.
You're welcome.
We unfortunately did not reach our super chat goal, so yeah.
I don't think anyone super chat during the chat at all.
No, unfortunately, but it's okay. It's okay. Super chats are not mandatory. I appreciate everyone who showed up to watch. I would appreciate a like and subscribe, though, if you're not already subscribed. This is episode 3 of this season of Creation Science Theater. Gonna keep making this a weekly thing. I've got a backlog of videos I want to go through, so not gonna be running out of content for a bit.
Stream of Fossil Fighters will be?
It was supposed to be last Tuesday. I had a very busy day. I'm going to be streaming it again probably this Tuesday, maybe tomorrow after. No, I'll be doing it again this Tuesday. Oh,
Okay.
thank you, Sydney. Just saying why. why it's not addressed to anything in particular, so I'm gonna choose to interpret that as why God, why. Thank you, Cindy. But yeah, that is today's Creation Science Theater.
Hmm.
I could have some new videos coming out. Well, actually, you know what, Caden, you're the guest here. Any plans for your channel in the next week or two? Week or
Well,
so.
I'm not that I am still have some long-term plans, such as obviously Gene Diver. I'm thinking about maybe finding a way to play Fossil Fighters myself and maybe stream that if you ever want to go check that out, or just do a live stream in general. Haven't thought of a
Okay.
topic though.
I will say, for all of its faults, the standard plan for StreamYard is free. It's not perfect, but it's very easy to set up.
I mean, as you can tell, I have a profile pic. I've made myself a StreamYard account.
Okay. At least for like older retro games where for FPS doesn't matter too much, StreamYard should work for you.
Okay.
If you want, I can. If you want, I can email you about ways to play the game, like how I play it.
Yeah, that would be nice. If anyone wants to support me and my endeavor to dub the 1993 educational anime Gene Diver, please go check out my channel. Or just want to see random stuff that I film outside.
Yeah, sounds like a fun time. As for over here with me, tomorrow I shall be joining Maya Atkinson and Dr. Tapioca Weasel on Bad Science Sunday. I do not know exactly what we're going to be covering yet. Maya likes to leave it a surprise, but I do think there's going to be some mud fossils, so that should be a delight. Other than that, I am currently working on a few things. I am working on episode 2 of my review of The Dinosaurs, the Netflix documentary. Meant to get it out sooner, but what can you do? And I'm also working on some new videos. Oh, sorry, Caden, you came in a little muffled there.
Oh, that's okay. Uh, Speaking of which, you had uh I found there was you were gonna release a documentary about your time out in the Cloverleaf Formation. Did you ever get that finished?
I have not gotten that finished, unfortunately. But we'll see.
Okay.
See what I can put together. Oh, I almost
If
make
you
like
want
a
my help with
trifold
it,
hat here.
I can see what I can do.
I appreciate that. For now, though, folks, I shall say good evening to y'all, and I shall see you soon. Have a good one.
Good night, everyone.